What happens when the foundations of an empire you built with your own hands are shattered by the very people you called family? What happens when the pride that tore you apart becomes the very fuel for a reckoning the world never saw coming? This is not a story of a simple reunion. This is a saga of resurrection, forged in the fires of betrayal and hardened by the passage of time. The wrestling world has been holding its breath, existing in a state of uneasy silence ever since the cataclysmic events of Crown Jewel. That night, the unthinkable happened. The Bloodline, a dynasty that had dominated WWE for years, imploded from within. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the man who ruled with an iron will and a godlike complex, was not just defeated, he was dethroned and abandoned, left in the wreckage of his own creation. He didn't just lose a match, he lost his identity. And in the aftermath, he vanished. No speeches, no excuses. Just a deafening silence, leaving a void of power that was all too tempting to fill. Elsewhere, Seth, the visionary, Rollins found his own kingdom crumbling. The architect of his own success, he was ultimately outmaneuvered by the very disciples he had mentored. The man who once painted visions in the air was left with a canvas of ruin, his confidence shattered, his persona a hollow echo of its former flamboyance. He was a king without a castle, a general without an army, wandering the wilderness of his own regrets. And far from the neon-lit spectacle of WWE, in the brutal, unscripted battlegrounds of AEW, a ghost from their past, Jon Moxley, the man once known as the unhinged Dean Ambrose, uttered a prophecy that many heard but few understood. Some wars never end, he growled, his eyes burning with a familiar fire. They just wait for the right time to begin again. At the moment, it seemed like a cryptic comment in a personal feud. But history, it seems, has a way of repeating itself. Into this power vacuum stepped a master manipulator, a man who has made a career out of exploiting weakness and consolidating power, Paul Heyman. Seeing the pillars of WWE weakened, Heyman has constructed his most terrifying empire yet. This is not a faction, it is a machine of pure, unadulterated destruction. At its core is the primal, earth-shattering force of Brock Lesnar, a beast re-energized and unleashed. Flanking him is the immovable object, the sheer mountainous power of Bronson Reed, and the unpredictable, explosive fury of Braun Breaker, a young star forged in relentless aggression. Together, under Heyman's sinister guidance, they have laid waste to the entire roster. There has been no resistance, no rebellion strong enough to stand against this tidal wave of terror. Heyman, standing amidst the chaos he orchestrated, has declared a new era, one built on fear and subjugation. But every empire, no matter how powerful, has its ghosts. And tonight, on Friday Night SmackDown, those ghosts have decided to answer. The scene is set. Paul Heyman stands triumphantly in the center of the ring, a smug smile plastered across his face as his monsters loom behind him. The microphone in his hand is not a tool for communication, but a weapon of psychological warfare. He mocks the fallen. He spits on the legacies of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, declaring them relics of a bygone era, names he has personally scrubbed from the history books. The crowd boos, but their defiance feels hollow, a whisper against a hurricane. Then, it happens. A flicker, a subtle dip in the arena lights. A crackle of static through the speakers that everyone feels in their bones. Heyman's smile wavers for a fraction of a second. The Titantron glitches violently, the massive screen dissolving into a storm of digital snow. The camera feeds shudder, as if the very broadcast is being infected by an outside force. Then, with a final, deafening pop, the entire arena is plunged into an abyssal darkness. The silence is absolute, heavier than any noise. It stretches for what feels like an eternity, a collective breath held by thousands. And in that darkness, a single, grainy camera feed flickers to life on the Titantron. It's raw, handheld, visceral, the kind of footage that feels more like a warning than a broadcast. And there they are, three silhouettes, standing at the top of the entrance ramp, backlit by a single, stark light. The crowd erupts. It's not a cheer, it's a seismic release of pent-up emotion, a roar of recognition that shakes the very foundations of the building. In the center stands Roman Reigns. But the tribal chief is gone. The royal vestments, the golden armor, the aura of entitled godhood, all stripped away. He is clad in the simple, brutal efficiency of black tactical gear, a return to the foundation upon which his legend was built. His face is not one of arrogant command, but of cold, stoic purpose. This is a man who has lost everything, and in doing so, has been forged into something new, something more dangerous. This is not a king returning to his throne, this is a warlord returning to a battlefield. To his right, Seth Rollins. The limp in his walk speaks of recent battles, of wounds both physical and psychological. But his eyes, once clouded by doubt and mania, now burn with a clarified, defiant fury. The flashy robes are gone, replaced by the uniform of a soldier. The architect has returned to his blueprint, rediscovering that his greatest creation was never a kingdom of one, but a brotherhood of three. And on his left, the wild card. Jon Moxley. His presence is a live wire, crackling with chaotic energy. A faint, knowing smirk plays on his lips as the arena chants his name. He is the embodiment of the storm that has been brewing, the unpredictable variable that no strategy can account for. He didn't come back for the fame or the glory, he came back because this is where the war is. As one, they begin their descent. They move through the crowd not as superstars, but as soldiers infiltrating enemy territory. The cameras shake with every step, the noise is deafening, a primal scream from the WWE universe. This is not a nostalgic entrance, it is a march to war. They reach the barricade and, in terrifying unison, they vault over it, surrounding the ring from three sides, a perfect, predatory triangle. The monsters in the ring, Lesnar, Reed, Breaker, brace for impact, but the fear in their eyes is undeniable. They remember the chaos, the violence, the absolute dominance of these three men when they are united. Heyman's face drains of all color, his carefully constructed confidence shattering in an instant. The Shield steps onto the apron, their movements a synchronized dance of destruction. They slide into the ring and without a single word, they assume the iconic stance. Back to back to back. Three fists raised to the sky. The symbol is reborn, and the arena becomes unglued. This is not the Shield of 2012. That was a force of youthful anarchy, tearing down the old guard. This is something else entirely. This is Shield 2.0, evolved, hardened, and perfected by a decade of war. Roman Reigns is now the general, a master strategist who has traded manipulation for military precision, his brute force now guided by the cold, hard lessons of loss. Seth Rollins is the redeemed architect, a man humbled by his own failures, who has rediscovered that his true strength lies not in solo conquests, but in the unbreakable bond at his side. Jon Moxley is the unchained catalyst, a warrior tempered in global combat, bringing a level of brutal, unforgiving chaos that WWE has never seen before. Their purpose is darker. Their mission is clearer. Their impact will be unstoppable. They are not here for redemption. They are not here for the championship gold they once carried. They are here for survival. They are here for vengeance. They are here to tear down the empire of their greatest manipulator, brick by bloody brick. The message is clear. The hounds of justice are no longer just enforcers, they are avengers. And when they strike, there will be no mercy, no hesitation, and no survivors. The war for the soul of WWE did not end at Crown Jewel. It was merely postponed. And now, the waiting is over. The war begins now. Witness the reckoning. Join the movement. This is more than a moment, it's a turning point. And you have a front row seat. Do not let history unfold without you. The chaos is just beginning, and the battles to come will be legendary. To ensure you see every single ambush, every war council, every act of retribution from the moment it happens, you need to be locked in. Hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell right now. Your phone should be your alarm for the revolution. When the Shield moves, you need to know. Turn on all notifications so you never miss a single second of the carnage and the glory. This is your chance to be part of the resistance, to stand with the hounds of justice from the very first strike to the final, crumbling fall of the empire. Subscribe. The war is here. Don't be left behind.